After I left, I waited. Not for an apology, not for explanations, just for something. A call, a message, anything. The first night passed, then the second. My phone stayed silent. No missed calls, no notifications, no questions. That's when I realized something. What hurt wasn't leaving the house. It was understanding that no one noticed I was gone. I didn't leave dramatically. I didn't slam doors. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I carried my bag to the car, closed the trunk, sat behind the wheel for a moment. The house lights were still on. I could see movement through the window. Someone walked past the hallway. No one came outside. No one asked where I was going. I told myself they would call later. Maybe they needed time. Maybe they assumed I was still nearby. I drove slowly. I checked my phone at every red light. Nothing. When I parked, I sat there again. Engine off. Hands on the steering wheel. Waiting for the screen to light up. It didn't. That's when it started to feel strange. Not loud. Not sharp. Just quiet. Like something had already ended. And no one had bothered to tell me. The first night, I stayed in the car. I told myself it was temporary. Just one night. I parked under a streetlight. Left the window cracked. The engine ticked as it cooled. I checked my phone again. Still nothing. I watched the minutes change. 12:07, 12:23, 12:41. Each time I thought the next one would be different. It wasn't. Around 2 a.m, I finally closed my eyes. Not to sleep. Just to stop staring. When the sun came up, my phone buzzed. For half a second, my chest tightened. It was a weather alert. I laughed quietly. Then I stopped. I drove to a gas station, used the bathroom, washed my face in cold water. I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked the same. Nothing about me looked missing. I sat outside with a coffee I didn't finish. People walked in and out. They knew where they were going. I checked my phone again. Still no calls. By the second night, the silence felt heavier. Not surprising anymore. Just consistent. I thought about calling my mother. I typed her name. I didn't press it. I thought about my sister. I imagined her in my old room, opening drawers, moving things. I deleted the draft message. I sat in the car again. Same street light, same spot. The hours moved slowly, like they were dragging themselves forward. I realized then, this wasn't a delay. This was the answer. On the third morning, I went back to the house. Not to move in, just to get the rest of my things. The door was unlocked. That should have meant something. It didn't. The house sounded different, quieter, not empty, just rearranged. My sister's shoes were by the door. Mine were gone. I walked down the hallway. My room door was open. The bed was made, with different sheets. My desk was pushed against another wall. My posters were gone. In their place, a mirror. I stood there longer than I meant to. My sister was sitting on the bed, scrolling on her phone. She looked up once. "Oh," she said. Then she went back to the screen. I picked up a box from the corner. It was already taped. My name was written on it, in my mother's handwriting. I hadn't asked her to do that. I carried it to the kitchen. My mother was there. She was wiping the counter. Slow. Careful. I said her name. She didn't stop. "I just need a few more things," I said. She nodded once, without looking at me. "They're already sorted," she said. I opened the fridge. My shelf was gone. My food was gone. The magnets were rearranged. The calendar no longer had my schedule on it. I reached into the drawer by the door. My keys weren't there. My mother noticed. She took something from her pocket. She placed it on the counter. Just one key. "This is the last one," she said. "Leave it when you're done." I picked it up. It felt lighter than I remembered. I put it in my pocket. I finished packing in silence. No one spoke. No one watched. When I was done, I stood by the door. I looked back once. My mother was already sitting down. My sister was laughing at something on her phone. I placed the key on the counter. It made a soft sound. No one turned around. I closed the door, and that was it. That night, the car felt smaller. I parked behind a grocery store, far from the entrance. The lights buzzed above me. One flickered, then steadied, then flickered again. I wrapped my jacket tighter. The air was cold, not freezing, just enough to notice. I checked my phone. No messages. I called my mother. It rang, once, twice, then stopped. I didn't leave a voicemail. I stared at the dashboard. The clock read 1:18. I watched it change to 1:19, then 1:20. Each minute felt longer than the last. I shifted in the seat. My back hurt. My legs felt stiff. I closed my eyes, opened them again. The same ceiling, the same light. I tried calling my brother. It rang longer this time, then voicemail. I hung up before the beep. I turned the radio on, then off. The silence felt louder. Around 3, a car pulled in nearby. Someone laughed. Doors opened, then closed. The car drove away. I stayed. When the sky started to lighten, I realized I hadn't slept, not even for a minute. I drove to a gas station, bought nothing, used the bathroom. The mirror showed my face, tired, unchanged. I drove again, nowhere specific, just moving. By the second night, it felt heavier. Not shocking, not dramatic, just heavy, like this was how it was now. I sat in the car, same position, same jacket, same phone. I didn't call anyone. I already knew. The third night was quieter. No calls, no attempts. Just me and the dark. I stopped counting the hours. I let them pass. On the fourth day, I rented a room. It was small. The paint was peeling. The mattress was thin. I didn't complain. I signed the paper, handed over the cash. The door closed behind me. The sound was dull, final. I sat on the bed, listened to the building. Voices, footsteps, someone coughing in another room. No one knew me here. No one expected anything from me. That night, I unpacked slowly. One shirt, then another. I placed my phone on the table, face down. I didn't check it. I didn't wait. In the morning, I went to work, stayed late, came back tired. The room was still there, unchanged. No one had moved my things. Days passed, then weeks. I didn't tell my family where I was. They didn't ask. I stopped driving past the house, stopped imagining the room, stopped wondering. One night, I deleted their numbers. Not all at once. One by one. No rush, no anger, just quiet. When I finished, I set the phone down. The room was silent, and it stayed that way. They thought taking the room would erase me. It didn't. It showed me something else. I had been leaving the door open, waiting, standing close enough to be pushed out again. So I stopped. I closed it. And I didn't knock after.